Hello, and thank you for choosing Exoprise. In this video, we'll be covering the benefits of ServiceWatch's real user monitoring for macOS, as well as walk you through the deployment process, the data collected by ServiceWatch, and discuss some additional functionality available via ServiceWatch Active Testing. We asked our customers about their macOS users and found that the most common users are at the executive level. With this being the case, it is critical to monitor these devices closely to ensure there are no work-stopping related issues. These issues tend to make their way from the top brass down to the engineers in charge of managing and maintaining these devices. Issues impacting macOS users typically take longer to resolve, preventing the users from accomplishing their day-to-day tasks. This leads to user frustration and losing trust in the people and systems in place for ensuring these work outages don't happen. There's also a support cost to consider. There is a much bigger lift when diagnosing and troubleshooting macOS devices due to the Apple limitations. This can lead to longer resolution times for issues due to engineers not having all the information required or increasing the amount of time required to gather the information for troubleshooting. To deploy ServiceWatch to macOS devices, you will first need to create a configuration if you have not done so already. To do this, once logged into Exoprise, select ServiceWatch on the left side and then Configurations. Once here, select Add Configuration from the top under the Desktop tab. This will bring you to the wizard for creating the configuration. From here, select Next and you'll be given the option to deploy ServiceWatch Browser alongside ServiceWatch Desktop. ServiceWatch Browser is an extension which can be deployed to Chrome or Edge and monitors the specified pages for errors and performance issues. If you have not created a configuration, select Add Configuration. The default options are available under Common Filters for Microsoft 365, Salesforce, and Google Suite. You can also input URLs and domains that you want ServiceWatch Browser to capture. Provide the configuration with a name and then save it. Once done, select the configuration and click Next. By not selecting a configuration, no ServiceWatch Browser will be deployed. On the next screen, you can also choose which extension you want pushed out with ServiceWatch Desktop. Make sure the Collect Performance Data is checked to capture the performance data once deployed. Click Next once more, and from here you'll be able to provide the configuration a name and description. Once the configuration has been created, you'll be brought back to this screen with all of the configurations available. The installer can be downloaded by selecting Download, macOS x86 for Intel, and ARM for the M1 through M4 chips. Once downloaded, launch the installer from the macOS device and select Continue to be presented with the end user agreement. After reviewing, click Continue once more and agree to the terms. On the next screen, you can leave the install for all users and select Continue, then Install to be prompted for credentials. Once the credentials have been put in, the install will begin. After the installation finishes, select Close and you'll be prompted to remove or keep the installer on the device. ServiceWatch, once deployed to a device, will begin proactively monitoring the application performance of the device while collecting all of the required metrics for reducing mean times to resolution when issues arise. The information collected by ServiceWatch includes the device's performance metrics such as CPU, disk, and memory. Based on these metrics, the devices are also given an overall score and individual metric scores to quickly rule out the device's resources when troubleshooting. The resource and network utilization of individual applications is also made available. If the CPU were to have a low score, engineers can quickly review which applications are utilizing the resources and when. When troubleshooting SaaS applications such as Teams or Outlook, the connected networking will provide a breakdown of the connection being made by the app. This connectivity data can be reviewed to identify where the slowdown begins to occur, helping identify if issues are related to the device, the service provider, or the networks in between. ServiceWatch can also be deployed with active tests. ServiceWatch active tests allow for lightweight network tests to be ran alongside ServiceWatch devices. The options available include wget, DNS, ping, and VoIP sensors, all configurable with proactive notifications. To enable ServiceWatch active testing, navigate to ServiceWatch, then Configurations, and select Active Tests at the top. From here, you can create a configuration to deploy through ServiceWatch with up to 2 tests being performed and input the values for the test. Complete the configuration wizard by providing it a name and saving. To deploy active test configuration to devices, from the configuration screen, navigate back to the ServiceWatch desktop configuration, select Edit, and on the browser options screen, check the Use Active Test checkbox and click Save. The active test will be deployed to the devices shortly after. To review the data being collected by the active test, you can pull up the device with the configuration and you'll see the metrics start collecting from the main screen. More active test information is available under the Active Test tab at the bottom. After ServiceWatch has been deployed, you'll want to enable the appropriate alarms. To enable the alarms, navigate to ServiceWatch on the left-hand menu and select Alarms. You'll be presented with a list of the applications alarms can be enabled from. By checking the checkbox and selecting the recipients, the alarms will now begin triggering when the thresholds are met. To enable active test alarms, select Active Test from the top and toggle the alarms, as well as select the recipient. Device groups are groupings of devices based on criteria. There are predefined device groups that will be made available upon deploying ServiceWatch devices. These will group the devices based on CPU core count, amount of memory, operating system type, ISP, network types, and many other methods. The options to create custom groups can be found under ServiceWatch, Manage, then Device Groups. From here, groups can be created with device name criteria or by manually selecting the devices. Additional methods of grouping devices are available. Reach out to our support team for more information. There are many reasons to group devices together. For more information, we've added a link to the Device Groups and Dashboard video in the description below. That's a wrap for our video. Thanks for watching.